It's a miracle, doc, they counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand, flipping the script.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the original Sunday night CrossFit talk. That's what we're talking about. We are in the midst of 25.1. There's a lot going on around the space and the peripherals. We're going to talk about all of that stuff tonight. But before I get into all that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to us on any of those audio platforms, give us a 5-star review. Tell us what you like about the show. And that's Spotify or iTunes or Amazon Music or any of those, all of that stuff. But we love that subscriber count keeps going up every week. The viewers keep going up every week, and we love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here tonight with me, Jamie Latimer, and Carolyne Prevost. What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Not much. Watching my friends play some hockey right now. On the women's league.
Yeah. Is that the same season as the NHL?
Yep. About the same time.
Same time frame.
Yeah, they'll finish a little bit earlier because they have like world championships normally in April, and they won't go as long as the NHL, but they start around the same time.
Well, speaking of NHL, Columbus hosted the Winter Classic this weekend. So right here in town at the Ohio State Stadium, the Horseshoe, the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets played. And the Blue Jackets had a miraculous comeback to take the win at the very end of the game to a massive crowd at the Horseshoe.
I saw the highlights of the Goudreau family as well, right there. That's cool.
Yeah, gosh, that story is just taking on a life of its own. And such good people, and the fact that we lost him in the off season due to a car accident that didn't need to happen is just tragic.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that going on this weekend in Columbus and the Arnold all at the same time. So you can only imagine that within a 3-mile radius, those two events were happening simultaneously. And I did not leave my house. I did not want any part of that traffic, any part of that mess. But yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I was seeing all the Arnold posts and I was like, oh man, I was there last year. But hearing that, like, because it was already crazy last year, I can't imagine with another big event there.
Well, I was watching Strongman on Friday, and the venue that they put for Strongman had to be 4 times bigger than last year.
Wow.
And it was sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked awesome. I hadn't gone since I went, I think, during COVID year. But I've seen like videos ever since, and it looked like there was more fans than usual.
Were you at Rogue 2019?
Yes.
When they built the indoor stands?
Yep.
That's what it looked like at the Arnold.
Yeah.
Cool.
The stands from floor to ceiling. It just massive. And it was packed for men and women.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I watched a lot of the women, and I think I wouldn't have known them really as well as I feel like I do now, just because of the Rogue Invitational, and then having a small field of 10 athletes, like it's just so much easier to get to know or recognize at least the names and know their lifts and stuff like that. So I liked watching both of the divisions go, and the men's field was pretty deep this time around.
Yeah. Oh, thank God they only have 10, because they take forever to set up for everything that they do. Now, I know they're massive weights and they have to be ultra careful, but the smelling salts, and then like the whole kit, it's comical to watch. And I've been watching it since I was a kid on ESPN when Magnus von Magnuson was the king of strongman in the 80s. And it's so funny that he's a judge now at all these events. And he is so small compared to this new breed of strongmen. But I had one question for you guys out of this, just a quirky question. I don't know if you saw Thor go for the world record in the deadlift.
I didn't.
He
I saw his successful attempt on Friday, and then I missed that because we had Friday Night Lights, and I was just busy at work during the day, and I just never caught up.
So he hit 1,026.
Saw that.
World record is like 1,040 something, but if you get over 500 kilos, you win cash money. So he jumped from 1,026 to 1,106.
Oh my gosh.
But while he was lifting, the knurling on this elephant bar was so new and so sharp, he was cutting his thighs.
Oh.
So I hate new knurling on a bar. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I would rather have a rusty bar in the corner with smooth and just grip up. Now these guys are lifting weights that I have never approached or even thought of approaching in my life. Are you more of a new knurling or an old knurling person?
So we got 2 new barbells at the gym, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. And I've only opened one of them, 2 new Bella bars, just your normal, right? But it is way grippier, way like tougher knurling than our others. And it's over in like the side where we keep our specialty bars, like my personal barbell. No one will touch it. Everyone is like, that thing hurts so bad. I use it every day. Like, it doesn't bother me. I get it. But like Haley will not use it for lifting. She's like, that thing tears up my legs. I don't know. I mean, I have tights on most of the time. So, but when I do hang cleans, if I have shorts on in the summer, not good to use. But like, I just feel like I have better hook grip with it. Like, it really grips. So for the most part, I like it.
Yeah, it's the same. As long like it probably makes it that I have to chalk less.
Yeah.
Because it's more grippy. I like it. I mean, I have sensitive skin, so like sometimes my hands get irritated, but mostly my hands will get irritated more from rope climbs than they will from the barbell. Like, yeah, that to me hurts my hands a lot more.
My Ohio bar, even with like new knurling, wasn't that bad, but we've gotten some in the gym that were not Ohio bar, and it is like sharp.
Yeah. It's weird. Sometimes it just comes.
And
sharper.
I don't ever chalk. So like my personal bar in my garage is like pristine because I never chalk.
Yeah.
And I guess I like that, but like at Polaris, I grab the old rusty smooth one because I just like it better.
Yeah.
I'll wear grips if my hands get very sensitive just to protect. So that the hands are not a limiting factor, but just can do the workout. Because if my hands are just like hurting, then I'm like, ugh, just put on a grip. So it's just why I still like the finger holes. Like a lot of people have transitioned to the more flop over ones. I hate those ones. Like I want to have the options of putting my fingers in the grips.
Kenneth says the Rogue deadlift bar is super sharp. But I do love that one. Yeah.
Just give me the option. I don't like it. I don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that deadlift bar, Kenneth, doesn't have the spin that like the Ohio bar does because it is designed just for deadlifting. So it doesn't have the spin for like or the whip like for an Olympic lift.
Right.
So that makes it tough. Yeah, I've never been a strap guy either. Like,
yeah.
But if you're doing 1,026 pounds, I'm sure you need it.
Yeah, you can't hold on to the bar.
Yeah. Although the woman that set the world record, like her strap wouldn't bite. She kept saying it wouldn't bite. And then, so she had to do like a panic lift because she was almost out of time.
Oh.
And then she lifted it up and then broke the world record.
Jeez.
Lucy.
Sometimes that adrenaline will
Two women broke the world record. One did it, and then the next woman beat her to break it again.
Man.
Andrea, that girl that first beat it, I think she had a stronger deadlift. She could have pulled more. Like hers looked much smoother on the way up, but then the other one lifted after and then just went 5 pounds more.
Yeah, it was insane. Like I had goosebumps watching it.
Yeah, it's good.
Good stuff. Before we jump into CrossFit, one last thing. This show is kind of known for Jamie and I's addiction to Reacher, and it's back. Jamie texted me on right after the show Sunday.
Yeah.
And said, have you watched it yet? And I said, I have not had time to jump into it yet. Then the next morning she said, I couldn't stop and I was up until 2:30 in the morning.
And you were like, I only have time for one.
Right. So Monday I watched one because I could not stay up. I was too tired. But I have watched all 4 now.
So I fell asleep last night trying to watch number 4. So I'll probably watch it tonight.
Number 4 is so good.
I was wrecked since Friday. Friday took a lot out of me.
So 4, you know, every season is all new cast. Reacher's the only person. Reacher and his friend Neely are the only people that appear in every season. So episode 4 is going back and learning the backstory of this episode, and it was so good when you find out why and how everything happens. It was so good, and now I'm hooked. But now I have to wait.
I know, that's what sucks, right? I hate being like on live.
So I've asked this question before on other shows, but like, are you the person that likes to get them all dumped at once and binge them, or do you want them released to you periodically over the season?
I prefer to have them all out because I like something will happen. I don't know. Like I just hate waiting for one, and then it'll come out on Thursday, but I'll be busy. So then then I'm kind of behind, which makes it worse. Because then if I watch it like Tuesday or something, I'm like, oh man, I only have 2 days to wait. But then you're like antsy. I should have just waited.
Yeah, I've lately, like, because the weather's been so bad, like Julie and the Man on the Inside, or is it Man on the Inside? The Ted Danson show.
Is it Inside Man?
Inside Man, something like that.
That was good.
It was. But we binged it in one afternoon.
Yeah.
Right. But I like the every week release because it extends it out and I can enjoy it and I can talk about it longer and I can really dive into it. Because I do that with the Pit. Like I'm waiting every week for the Pit to come out. I'm doing that now with Reacher.
I feel like I just would forget stuff from week to week. That's the only thing. Like my memory is just eh.
Well, Reacher's really good about recaps before every episode.
That's what I need. I need a small little 30 seconds to a minute. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like it's a little bit of nostalgia for me. Like, I think I've talked about this before. Like 24 was my favorite show. And we watched it as a family, religiously every week. So I like that. We just haven't had it in ages, right? Like we're spoiled with Netflix and everything. So I'm just not used to it.
That's why I'm surprised you're not into the Pit and you may not have HBO. I don't know, or Max.
We do. We have
because it is every hour is an hour of the show. It is real time.
I'll write it down. I'll have to watch that one.
And so it's it starts at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And right now they're at 3 p.m.
Okay.
2 p.m. something like that. And it's all one day of events in this hospital.
All right.
It is insane. Really good. But we're not here to talk about TV. We're here to talk about the world of CrossFit 25.1. We have some Hyrox news. We have people in and out and for different reasons. Plus the CrossFit Athletes Council and put out their first public statement since being formed. And we'll look at the leaderboard of 25.1 as well. So first of all, we had the open announcement last Thursday. It was done at Mayhem. I want to get your guys' thoughts on how that went down.
It was loud in the gym when we were watching the release. So I feel like I didn't get to experience it a whole lot. But I saw the announcer guy, which was one of the guys that Sevan had like reviewed all the videos of. I thought that was good. Rory crushed it as normal, and Rich jumping out was amazing.
Yeah, the whole thing was great. Just when they actually went to the workout, I wish that the guy that announced it had a little like mic, because that part of the announcement was just low volume. But like everything else about the announcement, minus the announcement of the workout, was very well done.
Yeah, I thought the way they set up the floor, where the athletes got to run kind of through the crowd onto the floor, through the rig, I thought that was perfect. It got the community involved. They had 400 to 500 people in the building at the time of the announcement, which is, I've been to 2 open announcements, one probably that big in 2018, and then in 2022, one about half that size.
Yeah, it looked packed in there.
So yeah, I thought that was awesome. The crowd was definitely hyped, and they did everything they could to get them more hyped with every trick, every twist, everything along the way. And I love that that community was that involved in the announcement. I think that's the piece we need. And going forward, I hope the other places do the same.
It's going to be tough to match Rich taking the floor.
That's
like,
it
that
is.
was.
But you can still get the crowd hyped. You can and get them involved and do all that kind of stuff. Right. The bar is really high. I will grant you.
But I think like the Mayhem gym is probably one of the best places to start the open. Like I think that was a good call by CrossFit.
Yeah.
The athletes are great. Haley got lost a little bit in the race. I felt like she was like off to the side, and the focus was a lot more on the guys' races. Maybe that's just how I saw it a little bit more.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I think Mayhem was a solid choice for a first announcement. Obviously, bringing Rich on there, like just the crowd went crazy with those shorts too. They're gonna have to sell those shorts because I feel like so many people were talking about it.
Well, on the post show, they actually talked to Dre while they were live. Like Rich was talking to him on the phone, and he said he could source them, and I guess they are going to come out.
Wow.
With, the red, white, and blue shorts. And I will say, it as cheesy as it was, I was in for every bit of it. Like I thought it was awesome.
Well, the only thing that I thought was interesting too is like you have Russian Roman in there too, and I'm like, oh my god, this like Rocky 4 right now.
Right, right.
And I was
Drago.
I wonder, yeah. I was like, I wonder if like Roman is okay with this right now, and yeah.
Well, Roman's competing with the American flag.
Is he now?
I believe on the leaderboard, if you pull him up, it's got the American flag.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he couldn't have anything before, so I don't know.
I was surprised that there was nothing about Lazar though, like maybe a small thing to begin the season, like some sort of tribute. I thought that they were going to do something. Maybe they'll do it in another week, but I don't know. I feel like I thought that they were going to do.
I feel like
something.
Mayhem's done their part.
Yeah. They did the tribute video too, and
right.
At the games, or was it during the games that they did, or shortly after?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, we've done a lot of tributes. Mayhem's done a tribute.
But just to begin the year, I think would have been.
Yeah, but these events aren't CrossFit Run anymore, are they? Are they? I don't know. I'm
not sure.
That's a good question.
I'd have to think about that a little more. The only thing I will say is a point that Carolyne made last week about there needing to be women and men races. Because Haley didn't have a racer, the women got forgotten.
I agree.
During the broadcast, it was about Austin and Roman until Rich started to catch up. Then they brought him back in the fold, but Haley never got brought back in.
Like, unless you just do one guy, one girl, and it's just like a 1v1 type thing. Like when you have 3 guys and 1 girl, and she's like on the outside, like it just pushed her a little bit.
Yeah. So that would be my only criticism of the broadcast, is that she got lost in the shuffle because of what happened with Rich and the hype, and then the other 2 going out so fast. And then Rich reeling in Roman became the story because Austin was so far out in front. And then she just kind of got lost in that. And for someone as popular as she is, you don't want her to get lost in the shuffle.
I was surprised with her score. I mean, Haley typically is excellent at burpee workouts, but I mean, she wasn't.
What was her score?
261 or something.
Okay.
And if you look at her 24.1, it wasn't anything great, but I think at that point we knew she was like kind of just getting in and she had been working on strength. So we kind of expected that. I would have thought she would have improved.
Said she was doing that again.
Oh, okay.
She said that she has not worked hit cardio, Metcons, anything. She's been working total strength, and that won't come back for another few weeks.
I feel like, I mean, you don't want to pass up the opportunities to do these announcements, but like, I almost feel like CrossFit needs to do a better job of picking the right athlete for the workout.
I agree with that.
Like, you want to showcase.
You want people that will have great scores.
Yeah. And she is going to get left off if she's 40, 50 reps back. Like, she
said a couple times that she refused every other opportunity, turned down every other opportunity she ever had because she was afraid to do it.
Well, she definitely has more confidence right now, like in doing things that she wouldn't have done before in terms of putting herself out there, national anthem, stuff like that. So kudos to that, because it's hard to do an announcement. Like, you learn the workout. Like, it is so much easier to kind of wait a few days or even look at some scores, study some strategies, and then do it. Like, if you do it right after, like, you're guinea pig for the workout. Like, you're not putting yourself in the best position to get a top score.
So the other thing I noticed is it was well over 100,000 on the stream consecutively through the whole announcement.
What is it normally? Or what has it been, I guess I should say?
I think like 80, like not quite 100,000. So I think that was pretty good. I thought Rory was awesome, and they need to get him back doing more of this stuff. His voice and his demeanor, the way he does it, is so good on the floor. It's I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it just is. It's just a really good job. And then I liked Boz in the booth, talking about kind of the construction of the workout and what they're looking for, and I thought that was a little bit of a different take than we've seen in the booth. And then the only other thing I really wanted was when it all dropped for Roe and Boz to rip their pants off.
I was just about to say that.
Roe versus Boz for one last time, or
that would have been cool.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that's the only other thing I wanted at the end, is for them to like pull the Rich, do the tearaway pants, and have their own whatever shorts on and go after it on Roe versus Boz one final time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they did it with him there.
Yeah. So a couple things in here. Reps, were they as bad as some people are making them out to be? Austin's were bad.
Austin's were pretty bad.
And he took it like Hiller criticized him, and he said that, I don't know, that's not me.
I saw that.
So he just made a joke of it and took it well. But yeah, I mean, his right arm, unless he has some kind of a restriction on his elbow, was lacking extension almost every time.
Yeah.
Craig says, do you think Teal will submit a score? This is what I'm going to say. I texted this to Carolyne earlier. I do believe she's going to. I cannot wait till Tuesday when these questions are done.
Agreed.
On Tuesday, we will know who submitted scores, who's in, who's out. We don't need to see the damn posts anymore. And we can just move on. And everybody can do what they're doing for the season, and we can cover whatever we're covering. But damn, I'm tired. I'm tired of guessing. Bubba asked, do you think Haley would have been better off doing 25.2 with Emily and Sydney?
I do.
Yes.
Especially if it's like 20.2, like with double unders, dumbbell thrusters, and toaster bars. Like all three of those would be a great race.
Although I don't know, unless her dumbbell unders have improved.
Oh, that's right.
That wouldn't have been, but I do think it would have been better.
But I don't think we'll see a 20-minute one after this one.
I don't know. I think we're going to see a 20-minute workout. Like, I think there's going to be a 10-minute and a 20-minute still.
Oh, Lord, please, no.
I just think
15 seemed long today.
I think we're going to get a 20-minute or
you all like it.
Or it's the 20.5. It's the wall ball rowing and ring muscle up. Like that one's still on the table. Same with the 20.2 that people have been speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
The double scored workout with thrusters and then chest to bar stuff and then a lift after is still on the table too. Like there's still a few from those years that could get picked.
They did say, I can't remember where it was, that they thought for the Open to be most effective, it should be longer workouts.
Right.
3 longer workouts.
Yeah.
But so yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we get to the workout itself. So it's a 15-minute AMRAP of ascending burpees and dumbbell hang clean and jerks. And then 2 lunges in between each set. Thoughts on the workout as a whole?
On paper, it looks a lot like the one from last year, but it's a different workout. Like the movements of the dumbbell and the burpees lateral over, like it seems very similar, but the time domain is not. So it's a little bit different in terms of pacing, crashing.
Ascending reps are always harder.
Yeah.
They suck. You get into that dense set and you're like, I'm here forever. And the time eats up all of a sudden at the end. You're like, well, and I'm out of time. I think it was a dumbbell workout more than like last year, I feel like was a burpee workout. I think this was a dumbbell workout.
I don't know. I thought it was more burpee breathing. I feel like that was my limiting factor. But the dumbbell did get hard, like annoying hard. But like at the same time, you're like, you're not going to miss this. Like, suck it up.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but I felt it was more burpees / breathing and stuff like that. But.
I mean, I would assume it's based on your, it was, so it's the type of athlete you are. Like, I love burpees. Like that's almost never going to be my limiter.
It's burpees, but the cycle speed of the dumbbell can play a big factor.
Yeah, that's where I was getting eaten alive. Was dumbbell speed.
So Bubba, just like me, said it was purely burpees. The pack says if you're Kristen Holta, it was a burpee workout. Said it herself.
That surprises me that she says it was a burpee because that's why she did so well. Is because
she's good at burpees. She's always so good at burpees. Like she's won or got like second. Like the one year it was Emma Carey, then her in the dumbbell snatch with burpee box jump overs. She does well on any burpee workout. And specifically when it's longer, that favors Kristen Holta even more. So this is right up her alley for a home run.
We got a couple coaches in the chat. Justin Kotler was completely a dumbbell workout for Alex. super slow cycle speed led to a meh score.
Yeah, at a certain point, you just kind of run out of time. Like if
Yeah.
you don't have the right cycle speed or take a little bit of time to pick up the dumbbell, like you're like, oh, I have so much time. It's only this much in. All of a sudden you're like, it's like 12 and a half. And you're like, oh, like I'm not going to make it where I want, where I thought I did. So yeah, just time just starts accumulating faster towards the end than you think.
Tristan Patrick, dumbbell workout, which did surprise me.
Yeah.
Then Tristan echoes Justin, saw that a few of mine. 2 Justin, dumbbell not heavy for him either.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a 35-pound dumbbell is heavy for me, but I don't know. I was just like watching videos. I'm like, 8 seconds for every 3 burpees consistently all the way through. But I'm like 10, 12 seconds for the dumbbell it was just significantly slower on the dumbbell for me.
She's long and was too dippy instead of hingy on the dumbbell.
Yeah.
Only place you can talk about being dippy and hingy and people know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I felt like my middle rounds, like even just my dumbbell clean was slow. Like at first I'm kind of getting the dumbbell much closer to the body and then boom up. And then towards the end, it's getting away from me and a little bit slower. And that cycle speed just kind of slows down.
It's crazy because for me, now being 55 and going down to a 35-pound dumbbell, like I went unbroken on my dumbbells.
Yeah.
I had to like concentrate on not letting it become a snatch.
Yes.
To
Like,
hit the shoulder.
That's what was hard for me, like to really focus on like hit the shoulder and get into a rhythm. But it was
especially pulling from the floor. That you want to snatch that first rep. Yeah.
I do like that rule. Normally I don't, but to think about the amount of people that will go from the floor to the hang or to the shoulder right away and affect the score if they do that every single round and not get penalized because you're going to see it.
Right.
At least it made it that it wasn't a rule and everyone just were able to start. And you don't have a bunch of people getting, 6 to 7 extra reps in their workout. That would have been no reps.
Right.
So I do like that.
And I had no dippy because mine, I just did it strict.
You're just
Literally just everything was strict.
At one point, I'm in the round of 15. I get done my 15 burpees and I just start lunging. And then my judge, my coach is like, you just got done burpees. And I'm like 3 lunges in. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I came back and I was so confused. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm an idiot. I'm like, why couldn't this be like in the beginning where I can just start over? I'm like, got to keep going. So then like those next reps, I was like going way faster because I'm trying to make up time. I'm like,
It's funny you say that because I was watching my friend Amanda Hari's video.
I was just going to say, I watched hers too.
And she, every time she'd lunge, she came in to grab the dumbbell.
Yes.
And on her video, she's like, yeah, you're supposed to do burpees first. So don't do what I'm doing.
Yeah, it was good. I liked her video.
Yeah. And then at the end, she said, all these professionals telling you it doesn't settle in until minutes 10 or 12. She said, they're all lying.
That's about where I would say it settled in.
Okay. Mine settled in on the 3rd burpee.
More burpees for you.
where'd you do it?
I did it at Polaris.
Oh, nice.
But I took my wife over and she judged me, and then
Nice.
did it this afternoon. My coach at Polaris is in the top 50 right now. So he's made semifinals before.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Majors. He's like tied for 47th, I think, right now. But he is not what I would call would not be a home run workout for him in my book. Because he's a bigger athlete. Although like Dallin and Hopper and all those guys did great on this.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, like, Dallin was doing like 4 lunges each time instead of like most people's 5 lunges.
Mm-hmm.
And like he just moved so well. And like
He did.
I wasn't expecting him to get that high of a score for, his body frame and stuff, but he's so fit. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what Colten does.
That's why I say I feel like this is a dumbbell workout though, because like Dalen didn't do world class in 24.1. He did good, but
He
like
still did good.
he did good, but like he did excellent at this
Yeah.
one.
Kat said 6 for me, stubby legs.
I definitely took five steps every time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, let's share. We'll start with Beyond the Whiteboard. Did a graph. I'm going to pull that up.
Shout out Beyond the Whiteboard.
So, Carolyne, let's walk us through this.
So those are like the preliminary data. They'll probably come out with some more tomorrow. Normally on the Monday they will. But it just gives you a percentile of where you're looking to hit the workout from people that have logged. So obviously for the 1% that's looking to move on, getting as close to the 99 on this one would be a good score. So you have it separated men and women, and then with the scores of where things normally are. So
What's top 99?
264 for the woman, 265 for the men. So you're looking in the burpees, I believe, of the 30 is.
No,
No, that's not it.
no.
Just
20
in the clean and jerk.
It's into the 27 burpees.
Gotcha.
So,
It's basically where Haley was.
any are we sharing any scores? You guys want to keep them secret till tomorrow?
I might redo mine.
Really?
Heck yeah.
Well, because you messed up your lunge.
Yeah.
I mean,
I felt like I left some reps on the table. I mean, I have a good score right now, but it's not. I feel like I should be better at the number than I have, but we'll see.
I was north of 300.
I looked at signups. I think for the men, it's right around 1,200. That was going into the weekend, and the women were high 900 for the 1%.
Okay.
So hopefully, if there's signups through the weekend, again, I've not looked since like Friday. Those numbers might go up a little bit. I'm sure they will. I'm sure there's going to be some last minute signups.
Like my rule of thumb for my workouts and redos, it's like if it's supposed to be a good workout for you on week 1 and I can be within closer towards the top, then I'm like, okay, let's try to go for the open. If it's a bad workout for me, then I'm like, okay, one and done. I'll get the 1% type thing or whatever I need to move on. So this workout, I feel like I could do a little bit better to put myself in a position where I can do well like I did last year and possibly like win money or something. And not knowing what the rest is. I'm
Right.
like, so that's just how I view it. So it's like, if I can come out of first week knowing that I did my best, it'll be what it'll be. Like, I'm not expecting to win this workout at all or even be close to winning it, but just at least be within reach of being consistent. Then that's always a goal of mine.
What? No 340, Kristen Holta? Come on, Carolyne.
Do asks, are we surprised that men and women have similar scores?
Normally I would think the men would be just their shoulder endurance, but I think the women have the advantage of their height, so their burpees can be faster and just less distance to move that dumbbells. And most women move the 35 a little bit easier, so I think it works out to be about the same. So I'm not surprised that they're very similar reps.
But I do think the top score will be for sure from men,
yeah.
just like the explosive power of burpees, the lunging capacity of guys for certain distances, engine in general. I think like the top 5 scores, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, it will probably be Colten, and then it'll probably be Mirjam will probably beat Holta's, but I don't think by a lot. Like, I don't think there's a whole lot to gain there on Holta's time.
Yeah, Holta's look good.
Yeah.
I was thinking Mirjam as well. She had a Hyrox this weekend, so I think she had one this weekend. I thought I saw, so I'm not sure if she did it before. She's waiting for after because it looked like she was redoing workouts a lot last year. So she might not have the opportunity to do it as much this weekend. But I still see her smashing it.
Well, I was really happy with my score. I'll say that.
I'm
My
proud of
goal was I wanted to get into the round of 15s because my burpees are so slow. And I almost finished the round of 15s.
Nice.
I missed it by one lunge.
It's excellent.
So you got one length of the lunge?
Yep.
Nice.
And couldn't get back. And I was really trying to get it finished when I knew I was close, but I just missed it. But I will say that it is as easy as the lunges have felt in years for me. It really was just the burpees that slowed me down.
Yeah, that's tough.
But that means that's what I got to work on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Burpee, burpee, burpee.
I feel like Barbell Spin did a good job doing their teams and getting hype up there. Shout out to them. Shout out to Team Oval Team because that's my team. And
you're on John Young's team, right?
Yeah, John
I
picked.
thought I saw him repost your thing.
He picked me first. I was shocked, so I felt like I had to. Like, this should be a pretty good workout for me, so I felt like I had to really go all in on this one.
That's cool. Yep. So I finished with 99. Would have been really cool to say a 3-digit.
Gretzky.
Redo it, Scott. Do it tomorrow.
That's not going to happen. But anyway, yeah. So anything left in the open that you guys want to talk about?
No, we kind of talked about what we think next week might be. So I think I feel like it's going to kind of take the same trend as last year. Quite honestly. I could totally see that, like something with double unders. I think the repeat might be week 3. I don't know.
The 20.5, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it gets you your gymnastics that you usually have, right?
Yeah.
Shelly Young pops in here to say, consider yourself special. He didn't even pick his own mother to be on his team.
For some reason, I thought Shelly got picked like in the whole list towards the end. Maybe not.
No loyalty.
Yep.
I consider myself special.
Man, it better be a cute granddaughter because if not, that's a bad son.
He wasn't even picking some of his own athletes, so he was being kind of savage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was random after they did their picks. I see. Okay.
What did they do? A top 5 or something and then random?
I think they did 10 men, I believe, and I think they did 6 or 7 women each, and then went off and finished the draft. You should have put the hashtag in, Carolyne.
I know I should have.
We'll have to do that next year because I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny when you think about that. Gosh, you just don't. Am I going to get enough people to sign up, or are we going to look like a fool, or
yeah,
But we've been around a little bit, so anyway, I did want to bring up one thing. It's not in the rundown, and I'm looking real quick to see, but Sevan did release a behind the scenes 2024 CrossFit Games. Episode 1. It does not appear to still be up, and he said, "Go watch it because it might not be there long." A day or two ago.
Oh, geez.
I do want to say it was tough to watch. It never even gets to the competitive part of the games. It is only at where they go in to get the gear and go ruck fitting them for everything, and that's really where it all is. But there is a long conversation with Lazar, and it is really tough to watch. Not that I'm saying that we shouldn't watch it or that we shouldn't see it, or because I think it showed it was a great depiction of who Lazar is. And it just because I knew him, I love the guy, and it really depicted who he was. It just was a tough watch. but the rest of it was your typical behind the scenes, lots of good footage of goofy stuff that was happening. Lots of stuff like that. But during the Lazar thing, he does talk about event 1 and what his plan was and all of that stuff. And how confident he was about it, which is hard to watch that now knowing what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked and I do not see it up anymore. So someone must have had him pull it down.
I mean, I feel like he was talking about that for a while. Like there was clearly something going on behind the scenes, like not letting him release it.
Yeah. And it's a much later release than they've ever done it before.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine the next episode would even be harder, but I did get a chance to watch it, and it was really well done with great conversations. It just was hard to watch at times. But I hope we can get back to a day where it's okay to do all that stuff and okay to enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
So back to the news at hand. Jack Farlow announced this week that he is out of the Open because of his college schedule and he needs to focus there. Then there was weird speculation around, well, Emma was out, so now Jack's out. What is that all about? And then it came out that Emma actually has a bulging disc and a pinched nerve L5S1. And I have had that injury. It is what broke me in 2016-17. That is a no joke back injury.
Did it happen after Wodapalooza or would it
Before?
So she was still able to compete and win on the team side. That's crazy.
She was able to do day 1 relatively okay. And then she said that she was in extreme pain for day 2, but didn't want to let her team down.
Yeah.
But what scares me is I am not an athlete, as good an athlete as she was. Now that was as fit as I've ever been as an adult. When this happened to me, I kept trying to fight through it, and it just got worse and worse and worse to the point where the pain was so severe down my leg, and I had no power, no strength in my legs because I had messed it up so bad. And since that day, I've had 12 back procedures. I have had so much done on my back. I just don't want her to mess it up for the future.
So do you think that she'll compete still in the other season? Like, is that even worth it, or take care of it and come back next year?
I think she should take care of it and come back next year. But
she's still so young.
Way younger than I was when I had it. So I don't know if she can, and I don't know how severe it is, if they can get the swelling to go down and the bulge to go away. I don't know any of that stuff.
And I don't know what Emma Carey had when she took a season off at one point, if it was something similar, but I don't know. If I'm dealing with that, I would probably consider.
I know Craig is saying, I think it's day to day. I think day to day would be extremely optimistic. If she said she's already getting the pain shots down her leg in her podcast, if she's at that point, that means the sciatic is involved and that nerve. You just have to be careful. I'm just saying, I think it is, to me, it would be month to month.
So her first event isn't until May. So she does have some time to think about the WFP and possibly get replaced if she can't. So at least for now, she's committed to the May timeframe. And then I won't be surprised to see if she turns that down. I feel like she's a smart athlete to not necessarily ruin her next few years.
I know my first step was cortisone injections, trying to get the swelling down around the nerve. So all of that kind of calms down, but you can't lift heavy during that time because you need to get it. You need to make sure that it's not aggravating again. right, to get the swelling down. If you aggravate it, all the swelling will come back. So I think if she takes a month now, it would be much smarter than trying to fight through it and get to May. That's all. But like I said, I was much older when I had it, but it was debilitating. When
just the amount of pulling we do as CrossFitters in general, and like the amount of things that would probably affect, like even just probably the backswing of, kipping gymnastics, right? Like any type of kip, like it's not just the lifting when you start feeling your lower back, like it's multiple movements. Even biking, like if you're just sitting there, depending on how where it is, I guess, rowing, right? Like there's so many movements I can still feel it. So I don't know.
So
hopefully she's smart.
My bulge was on the front of the spine. So anytime that I then would arch back at all, it would push that bulge back out the front. So like arch to do like a kip. Does that make sense?
That's what I can't do. I completely understand.
I don't know where her bulge is either. Her bulge could be out the back, could be out the side. Like all of that would matter to where she's at and what it's going to be like.
Yep.
D. Reed says no comp is worth your health.
Well, I also don't know who her coach is right now in terms of guiding her in these decisions. If it's Jack and, they're just hugging it together.
According to Spin, the belief is that she's coaching herself. She is doing her own programming and coaching herself right now.
But in terms of just getting that advice, right? Like sometimes just having those conversations with someone, I'm sure that she's having it with Jack to figure out what the next steps are. But yeah, it's not something that you want to push too much because it can get bad.
Tristan says back injuries are incredibly hard to manage. Personal experience.
I just read Corey's.
Yeah, Corey's being a 12-year-old boy.
Oh.
So that happened. I just know the pain that I went through. I just wish her all the luck in the world and all well wishes, because, man, get it fixed now before you get old. That's all I'm saying.
I've got no advice because I'm just a freaking mess and just continue to stay a mess and not figure it out. So probably don't take my path, girl.
Yeah. I'm finally to a point where I can do things without pain. And it is night and day to what I lived with forever. So I'm just glad I got through it. Now just hope the duct tape and the binding twine hold up for another 10, 15 years. The other thing that happened this week is the CrossFit Athlete Council responded to survey results. They sent a survey out to CrossFit athletes. They got, I think, over 200 responses.
Did you respond back to it, Jamie?
I did not.
I did.
Good.
So one, that's great participation from the athletes. They got over 200 responses. The fact that they got statements out, I will say this again, I got ripped on this earlier in the week, but I'll say it again. That is the most that any athlete council has done that we have had in CrossFit, period. I am not blaming the athlete councils for that, because I know that they weren't always listened to and weren't given the authority to do the things that this one has been able to do. But we finally have movement on the athlete council with responses. Is there anything in this response that you guys wanted to talk about in specifics?
No, I'm just glad that it's being communicated to the community. I think that's something that we've been wanting for a while. Whether you like the people on the board or not, I think that they're, having great conversations on different things and at least communicating back to what's happening so that we can stay involved and then maybe give more ideas. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this prior that like I feel like they have no choice but to listen now. Like it's like this was the last straw, so it's like they're not going to put another council in place to continue what they were doing because it led to something so tragic. So I feel like they're actually really listening now, and I'm excited to see where that'll go. I hope that it's not just something that's going to be used at first until people kind of forget about it, and then it dies off a little bit. But that they'll continue to be involved, and new people will be able to apply, and it just is for the betterment of the sports side. But
yeah, it's the most transparency we've had in ages. And I think one of their comments said like, people have been asking for change or really anything, and it's clear that we're getting some things, and it's kind of frustrating that some of these athletes aren't willing to like accept, even like look at these as steps forward.
Yeah, it's not a solution for everything, but there's definitely some step forward going on.
The one I liked the most, well, I liked a lot of them, that they were well thought out answers regardless, but the statement on community's desire to fix inconsistency in season format, that they had recommended to HQ that they need to adhere to a particular season structure for 3 to 5 seasons before proposing changes. They said that this feedback was received, but no discussion or commitments to this feedback were made from HQ. But at least they made that. That's something I've been hammering home forever. And you just can't, it takes too long to figure it out to explain it to your friends.
Right.
And I gave my feedback in it on my suggestions for the online portion that we had talked about.
Yep.
So
I love that idea. Make the open truly worth something.
It should matter. Like those are legitimate tests, great tests of fitness. Like,
yeah, it's not just the high skill, high weights that should count towards going to the games. Like it would be a better representation of an athlete if you take the 3 to 4 open workouts with the 5 to 6 online semifinal workouts. Oh. You got 10 workouts, boom. Those are the 12 athletes going to the games.
Yep.
From the online, the rest in person. You don't even need the last chance qualifier. Or like we talked about, if you do want the last chance qualifier, that's when you take all the bubble athletes from the in-person and online semifinal, put all their scores against each other. No last chance qualifier. Just the most consistent out of the online 10 events go on.
Yeah.
The other piece of news that came out of the CrossFit Athlete Council was that they looked at the grip prohibition and did get a change made where the rubber grips are now legal at the CrossFit events.
Do you wear those?
I do have a pair. I don't wear them very often. I have the Merlins, which are what?
It's all I use.
Is it?
It is.
I received a pair from doing the proven throwdown, the white, I think it's the elite grips. I have never seen something so like sticky to the bar. Like I was like, I'm like, this is what they're talking about illegal. I'm like, this is crazy.
Are they frog grips?
Yeah, frog grips.
Okay.
I haven't used them a single time. I just went like this to my bar that was there, which is a it's not a steel or a spiel bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, so then I brought them to school because I don't have like a sticky bar at school. And I can never do any type of gymnastic stuff just because it's so slippery. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll just take these sticky grips and be able to stay on the bar. But I don't think I would do bar muscle-ups with them because I feel like you can't rotate.
Yeah, some people do complain about that. It depends on the bar you're on. They don't like chalk. Like
that's the thing I hate is there's some athletes at competitions and like the gyms that are coming to the rig, spraying down, grabbing their towels. Like you're doing too much. Like so many athletes now on the floor, they get on they're wiping down the freaking bars on competition. I'm like, leave that damn chalk on there.
But if you're used to those grips,
I know,
but I'm really like grip, and then you're like sliding off the bar. It's like worse. You should have.
But I'm like, if you're having to do that, I'm like, there's something with those grips,
Yeah,
but I guess they're legal.
Are really sticky. I have Element 26 rubber grips, and they're not like, I don't think they're that much stickier than like my old Bear Complex.
Yeah.
But man, if I get a big chunk of chalk on the bar, I slide right off.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never tried the frog grips. I have the Raylan Seal Pros, which I think they're similar, but I don't know. And then I use like daily the Raylan, the Merlins. They're like a hybrid.
Corey says you can rotate. They don't like chalk though.
I just think athletes are doing too much, like going on the competition floor with their damn towels. Like I roll my eyes at all those athletes that do that. And I'm like, get out of here. Keep that.
Or he's going to be that guy.
I get so annoyed. And then the people at my gym that put like spray bottles of like cleaning products, I'm like, stop it. You're ruining that perfect spiel bar. Like, stop it.
I have a guy who comes in with wad wax and like wipes it on the bar. And then it's like,
don't you touch my bar. And it's like my bar.
I have like a bar too that people know.
Like, do it to all the others. That bar right there. Don't you dare touch it.
Well, the spiel bars will rust if you keep spraying them.
Right.
Like they're meant to be like no coating, no.
Yep.
And to like just bite in grip. Like, yeah. When I was at my old gym, they were like, do not spray cleaner on those spiel bars or you'll be out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
someone that's going to do that to my spiel bar.
Carolyn's going to get into a hockey fight in the middle of the gym.
No, because literally the other day I wear Bear Complex. I'm a Bear Complex gal from like my whole career, and I freaking slipped on a bar muscle up on my bar because people have been spraying it, and I'm like, I almost fell backwards. I'm like, thankfully I landed on my feet like a cat, but like, I've never had that happen in years. And it's not even like I was at max capacity. Like my hand just slipped and I was like, these damn frog grips and rubber grip people are ruining my bar. That's my.
Phil B says, I wouldn't use the elites for bar muscle ups. They are too grippy. The base.
That's ones I got.
That. All right. So we have a couple more like quick hitting news bits and then we'll get out of here for tonight. Sara Sigmundsdottir got a special invite to the Rebel Games, which is the African in-person semifinal event. Because that is exclusively for African citizens.
Yeah.
Does that give Sara a legit shot?
And it's UAE
CrossFit Games.
It's also where she trains, though.
Oh yeah,
that's where she trains.
Well, that's not really Africa.
Yeah, but they have that Africa plus the UAE.
Okay.
That's one of their rules. So I figured Sara was going there from the start, and I was like, because I'm assuming Jamie isn't competing. I'm like, Sara has a very good shot at that one. Because like had Jamie Simmons been competing this year, which I'm just assuming right now that she's not doing the game season, because Jamie trains like in the UAE, so she would easily take, I feel like, a spot. She's so fit. Yeah, so Sara's got a chance.
I agree. I mean, I don't know where she is training wise or knee wise or whatever things are going on with her, but
yeah, I saw her reel doing 25.1. Like she's ripped.
Yeah.
It's just, and now that at least they know what's wrong with her knee. Yeah. I think she has a great shot, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A really great shot. And which the games will always be better if Sara's there. I think she's just a great person.
For sure. And I think if you think that you have a shot, it's going to be a different Sara. Because I think for a lot of the competitions, like while she was telling herself she had a shot, I think maybe inside she was like still kind of questioning where her health was and everything like that. But if she like feels she's got a chance, like confidence is a big thing in competition. Huge. Like it's not just your physical preparedness and execute. Like there's a big mental component of these competitions. So if she can get her mind confident, I think she can do it.
So next up in the quick news is 2 CrossFit athletes, not just one, but 2 CrossFit athletes have announced that they are with child.
3 really. I got one to add to that. I mean,
okay.
Boy.
So I know of Carrie Pierce and Mitch McClune, both Mitch McClune's semifinal athlete, Carrie Pierce, American legend, CrossFit athlete, announced that she is pregnant. Kind of saw that coming because she's been talking about her menstrual cycle being back to normal for the first time in years, and she's been talking about that for a long time on her Instagram. So the fact that they announced that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then just today I saw Amanda Barnhart and her husband are pregnant with child after adopting a son earlier last year, late last year. Now to bring one of their own into the fold is pretty cool.
That's awesome. The other one I just saw was Noah and Joanne.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one too.
Yeah. Super happy for all those. Those are all great people.
Yeah.
I think they'll all be great parents. Can't wait to see what motherhood and fatherhood bring to all those athletes. Super cool. Yeah. Then we have Hyrox results. This last weekend in Brisbane, Australia. Shay, Noah, and Joanne, we announced that. In Brisbane, Australia, a handful of CrossFit athletes competed in Hyrox, including Tia and James Newberry as a team, Ricky Garrard. I think that like the whole Proven crew pretty much did, right?
Jay and Maddie were on a team.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up. I have the men's, Sarah's coach, Justin Cutler. She is a UAE citizen.
Wow. Well,
yeah, she's been there for years. So
yeah,
I wasn't surprised at all. I figured she was going.
That makes sense.
I'm going to share my screen. So this is the men's leaderboard. And Ricky Garrard actually took 6th overall at the Brisbane Hyrox. I don't know a lot about Hyrox. I heard Carolyne and Jamie talking before we got on the air, and they can jump in here anytime they wish, but that his time was actually faster than James Sprague's, who James qualified for the World Championships.
In his age group.
Not for the Elite 15.
Like Ricky here is first in his age group.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know. That normally is a pretty strong age group, though. So I don't know if that qualifies for the age group worlds, but that's a solid time. He was looking to break an hour, so just short, about 42 seconds. But they've been training hard, I think, that group.
So how do I get to
right there. Instead of pro, Hyrox Pro, go to Hyrox doubles.
Pro doubles or just doubles?
Just doubles.
Okay.
And then mixed, not men. Go back.
Mixed.
There we go.
And James and Tia, you can see here, I'll try to blow this up. James Newberry, Tia Toomey, 2nd place.
And I mean, the first group are 2 athletes that compete in the elite.
Yeah.
So that's a stacked team. Like probably Australia's best runner, and then obviously Hunter.
What was Hunter and Joanna's time?
I think it was like 54 or something. If you could scroll over. 51. Yeah, sorry, 54 was Tia.
3 minutes faster.
Yeah.
Dang.
Crazy.
And Maddie Sturt and Jay Crouch took 10th.
Is James Newberry like that great of a runner? Like, would Ricky be a better partner to Tia? Like, how fast he is at running? Like, I
I know
Probably.
guess
James
I
has
don't
done
remember James
Ironmans
being
and-
like.
James has done Ironmans and marathons. So
Well, I know he's done them, but like, there's a difference between like doing them and being
Right. I feel like Newberry would be like more on par with James Sprague.
Okay.
Right. And then, yeah, Tia would probably be better off with Ricky. If this is something they wanted to take a little more seriously.
But amazing time though.
I mean, Hunter needs to rope in Tia. That's what needs to happen. Quite honestly. Like they would smoke it. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where Tia is running.
I really want to see Christy Aramo O'Connell do another one. I watched her video of her sub-3 marathon. Like she was averaging like, I don't know, like a 6:30 mile. I'm like, like holy shit.
Yeah.
Like to me, she's the best runner we have in the CrossFit space that came from CrossFit. Like
what I can tell you is she would run to the gym and run home from the gym every day in the summer. Like that's all she does, either bikes or runs. Like it's very rare, unless in the wintertime, that she would actually drive her car to the gym. And it's not that close.
But if I think of someone in the space that I feel would be our top competitor in the Hyrox that came from the CrossFit Games, I think it's Christy on the female side.
Yeah. So Justin, back on the Sara thing, she has felt the best she has felt in years. We are getting there, not there yet, but light at the end of the tunnel.
All right.
Phil B. James has been doing a lot of running recently. He's pretty good. Ricky's insane though.
I know.
Let's think back to that mile time
Exactly.
trial at the games last year, and nobody was anywhere around him.
Yeah, it's like Ricky and Jeff that are the top runners right now in the field.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So that is the Hyrox stuff. The Mayhem Classic lineup continues to change almost daily on who is going to be there. And it does seem to be either through injury or through not signing up for the Open. Those athletes are being removed from the Mayhem lineup, even though that was not a precursor to qualify or be invited to Mayhem, is doing the Open, but it does seem like when Emma Lawson says she was out, she got removed from the lineup. So it does seem like there's like a trend.
Is Ellie Turner because of an injury or just she's not doing the season?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything out of that camp on what she's doing.
Because Justin is obviously doing it and he's all in, but I don't. I know that Ellie is still coming back from her back.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure.
I feel like it has to be she's
just her back.
Just not there yet. And just not.
Again, another reason for Emma Lawson to take it very carefully through these back injuries. They are awful. Because Ellie's been out, almost 2 years now.
Then you look at Bethany, who's still grinding.
Whew. Yeah,
she's top 10 in the world right now in the Open.
I know
she smashed it.
Oh, well, did you see her first lunge?
Yeah, what the hell happened there?
She just didn't do the last lunge.
She just took a step. She was just like, 1 foot over.
I'm here.
Like brain fart or something. I don't know what the penalty was because you'd have to come all the way back.
Yeah.
And then do it. So I don't know if they'll take
4 reps off. I
wouldn't be surprised, something like that. 4 to 5 reps, just because you have to go back. You have to do your 5 steps of lunges, open up. I don't know.
I know.
There'll be some sort of penalty.
You would think.
If they look at the video.
I don't know if you guys, this is not on the rundown. Have you been watching the Pepper, what is it? Boys Interrupted?
Oh, yeah, I don't really like that name, but
it makes sense.
Because they do interrupt each other all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I don't think it was that original. Like it's like there's already like a Instagram, like in the sports space, like it's the uninterrupted. No, it's like the uninterrupted. Like
yeah.
I feel like they kind of took it from that, but I don't know. I feel like they could have done something better with the name.
I watched the episode where they explained the name.
The one name that someone suggested was funny though.
Yeah, like
hopping on
yeah,
Justin's
Pepper.
Pepper, something like that.
Yeah.
But they are bringing back the open embarrassments.
Yeah.
And did you see what the punishment was for week 1?
The spray tan.
Over aggressive spray tan.
Yeah.
Like Ross from
Orange.
Friends. If you watch Friends.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Where his teeth lit up like neon.
But Justin gave his score right away, and Justin does it all the time on the Thursday. Like that's a huge disadvantage for him, I think. Because I feel like the other two wait a little bit, see some strategies, and then kind of attack it. Justin just watches the announcement and then just does it there.
James lost though, didn't he?
I think James got the lowest.
Yeah.
But Justin almost lost it.
Oh.
I didn't see Justin score on the leaderboard.
He talked about it on the podcast. I think he got something like 8 or 9 snatches.
Because they were all right up towards the top.
Yep.
Like Sprague was 9th. Pepper was 1st. Hopper was like 4th or 5th. Last time I looked. Shay's asking, can you just shower it off? I don't think you can.
Yeah. I mean, it'll lighten it, but yeah, it's not going to just shower off. If you got in the shower like 10 minutes after you got it, you could probably get a decent chunk off. But if it's on there for several hours,
I can't wait to see it.
But like Ross on Friends got two 4s, like an 8. And
they have to do something like a reel with the Friends stuff. They have to.
Get a 2 on your front and a 2 on your back. I got 2 2s. You got a 4?
Oh, I love Friends.
Oh, I've seen that show so many times. That's one of my favorite episodes ever.
Me too.
So yeah, and they're getting so funny. I hope it stays funny and lighthearted like they're doing it.
For Craig that didn't see Justin's score, he talked about it on the podcast. I don't know which one it was. I think it was the one that he did after, and he said that he got 9 reps or something, but he didn't look at the video if it was on time.
Craig said, did you see Colten's grandpa video? I did.
That was hilarious.
The best. I wish the filter would have kept the gray hair on a little bit better. Did you see it, Jamie, or no?
I did not.
Can you go on the Instagram to see it?
So he it's like his grandfather talking to his grandkids about the time he doubled a 265 snatch and how great it was. It was such a sight to behold.
Yes, Aaron Fraser. I fully agree. They should have done the spray tan for week 2 punishment. That way they still have it for the week 3 announcement. That would have been great. That would have been great.
All right. So here we go. You ready for your enjoyment, Jamie?
Oh my gosh.
It was 2024. A touch and go snatch at 265. You ever seen something like that?
What about the muscle ups, Grandpa?
Who told you about them damn muscle ups? Shit, thought I told you to stay off YouTube. Yeah. 2024.
That's great.
He's upped his Instagram game so much in the past year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Aaron's thing about the open announcement. Why not bring Justin in for this? You already have the other 3.
Yeah.
And then bring in the whole podcast crew and let them
and then let's see the punishment live.
That's the thing. We would know immediately who lost.
That's leaning into the community. Like, because they have the punishments, lean in so that or maybe they bring in Justin as a surprise.
Maybe
Last minute, right? And then the punishment is live right after on the air. Boom. That's
be
how
great.
you have to top what Mayhem did.
That would be really good, though.
That would be good.
So, yeah. Lots of funny stuff this week. So then my last thing is, and I don't know how much of this you guys have dove into, but there are rumors circulating that CrossFit is going to be sold in the near future. And there are links to a European company called B Sport that owns the Hustle Up app, owns the Northern Spirit clothing line, among a few other companies. It appears that they have the money to do it or the backing to do it. And they're meeting with people like Rich Froning, and they're meeting with people like Daniel Chaffee along the way. If that happens, it will not be a private equity company. Is that what CrossFit needs to get out of this private equity ownership, that everything is for the dollar, everything is like budget cut, and get back to a company that is familiar with the grassroots style of CrossFit and what CrossFit is and they've been a part of that community for a while now.
You would gotta think it would help. I mean, all the cuts, I don't think have done anything good for HQ or the sport.
I just don't know enough about the business side of it to have a valuable opinion on it. But yeah.
I mean, you feel like I feel like the affiliates feel like they're just $1 to HQ at this point. I mean, you just feel like you're getting milked.
Daniel Chaffee said something when he was on with Peter a couple weeks ago where that he really likes Dawn Fall, and Dawn was doing great things until the private equity firm board made him stop and kept telling him no to other initiatives and other things.
Yeah.
Because of budget cuts. I don't know how much that is true, but if it is, that's a shame that that's what's driving the decision making.
Agree.
And like Rich said on Peter's podcast with Facundo, but we have to stop hating people for trying to make money.
Sure.
Right? Because at the end of the day, you have to make enough to survive. Right?
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm trying to follow it. It does interest me from a business sense, because that is what my background is. And for me personally, I think that is the avenue they have to go, and it could be the hard reset that CrossFit needs.
Yeah. I like Souza's shows, all of the digging he's been doing. Those have been good.
Yeah. There's a lot of red yarn on those shows, and there's a lot of speculation. I would like to see more like straight up facts, but we're not getting those yet.
Yeah.
So I'll keep an eye on that. We'll talk about it if we get more fact-based stuff coming in. But
was there an estimated time?
Before the games is what.
Before the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the games.
Would it impact the games?
It's
If you make a change before the games?
Man, it seems like that'd be a hard transition.
The only impact I could see it making on the games is if the people wanted to come in aggressively and they could say, hey, we're throwing $1 million in the pot to make it better for whatever reason, whether it be prize money, whether it be to add something here or there.
I don't know that they
but
would do
I don't
that.
think, but usually a new owner will come in and sit back for 3 to 6 months and observe.
Yeah. I mean, you have no reason to throw, like, people signed up for the season based on knowing what it was. Like if you change that right before the game's like, oh, the prize purse is bigger, like it does nothing. It does nothing really except pay those few people that are in a little bit more. There's really no reason to do that.
I don't think it's going to be the prize purse. I think it would be other things. It would be this marketing push for this event to like say, here we are, we're adding this as an event at the games, or as to make it a better spectator experience, or because that is like a big marketing moment that they could take advantage of. But generally they would come in and just observe.
Yeah.
And then that's when they would start making changes after that. And typically you would wait until the sport off season, because affiliates run year round regardless, but the sport would pause and then you could make changes to the overall ecosystem after the games. So, but yeah, there was speculation even sooner than that, like in the coming weeks, months.
Mid semis, that'd be weird. But
so, yeah. Well, that's about all we had tonight. You guys have anything left?
I don't
What do we
know.
need to tell the people to do?
Sign up for the Open.
Like and subscribe to the channel.
Sign up for the Open too. Are you going to pull up the Open leaderboard? I thought you were going to do that.
We can, but we kind of talked about it.
Yeah, that's true. They're both, the top is like 340 on both sides still.
No, Dallin's got it.
Oh, Dylan's. I'm curious to see Colten score.
Because Dallin had half a step left to get 349.
Well,
This is
Lana
the
said
one-
way earlier that Dave said somebody broke the scorecard, so it's got to be Colten.
Yeah, because he would have that access with the CAC.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called, the CAC, or is that just what you got?
I feel like that's kind of what it's. I mean, I think even Dave calls it the CAC now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kristen Holt is still leading on the women's side. Marissa Flowers does not surprise me. This is a
newer
is a
one.
perfect workout for her. There's Flores. Hannah Hardy, that one shocked me.
She's, yeah, I'd say in the last, I don't know, 6 months or so, she's must have been dialing in. She's with Brandon Luckett at the Imamco or what?
She was Misfit forever.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I saw Lauren Weeks was on there, which gives me.
She always does the Open.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's way up there. So, like, you got to think someone like Mirjam is going to be way up there.
Oh, yeah.
So there it is, 340, 333, 320. Those are your top scores. Lots of 328s. And then on the men's side, Pepper Sterner. That George Sterner video, if you've not seen it, is hilarious.
Good. So good.
But I would want to punch the guy in the face.
You know, there's like 20 needs reviews on that video.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with it. I would say his reps were quite clean.
That's the only thing with some of the Open videos. Like, people are so dumb sometimes when they review videos. I'm like, what? Like,
well, I have to put my video up and it's going to be up there and it's going to get a ton of watches. And like, man, it's frustrating when you watch even Mayhem's videos. Like,
I've not watched the opening to see, did he do all the stuff he was supposed to do?
I haven't watched. I'll pull it up and look.
The reps are fine.
Yeah. Did he show this? I'm pretty sure he did.
Can you see the clock in the frame? But I think he has a Wii time, right?
yeah.
Or one of those. And then like all those little things.
But
That's
just in
what-
general, some of the people that review are like, sometimes I'm like, you're just being hateful. Like you're just trying to, you're probably around this person or you don't like, I don't know. It's just like some of the online judging from people.
Yeah,
are awful sometimes.
I don't know. I'm just frustrated. You watch clips and you're like, that's just trash movement, but it just gets passed through because they did it at an affiliate.
Do you think that if you judge a video, let's say good, needs modification, your judge's name should be on there? That like which names judge?
Yeah.
Because if their video is out public, your judge's name should be public too.
100%.
Like, are you just someone that's around the leaderboard? Do you know that? Like, I want to know who judged me.
I agree.
Go put your name behind. Like, I wish there was some sort of thing because I think it would deter people from being a little bit, hateful on some of the judges sometimes. Like ours is like that video is public. Put your name behind the judging. Like, I don't know, add a feature for that.
Peter, when you fill it out, you do have to say, if you say needs review, you have to say what needs review. Like you need to say at 2:53, the 2 clean and jerks in a row weren't locked out overhead or missed a lunge at 3:53. You're supposed to write all that in there. But I don't believe the athlete gets to see any of those. And so it's like, I don't know. It's just, I hate that just because you're not an affiliate, you're probably going to get screwed over. Because damn well some of these affiliate athletes are trash movement. Like, I'm not sure.
For sure.
I'm not sure like half a Gee's burpees counted.
Yep.
And all of those Mayhem videos are going through without question. The public cannot see what was right.
And the public can't judge. You have to have
your judge's course.
Right. So
yeah, you do have to have the advanced judges course, Lana, to get on and do the.
You need the. I mean, I have the advanced judges course as well, but do you need the advanced one for the open to judge videos?
They should have, in my opinion. It shouldn't just be for everyone with the $10, in my opinion. But I guess I don't know. I have
in the past. It was just the $10.
I think at the open level, it's just the $10. And then at the semifinal level, it will have to be the advanced.
So you have a bunch of $10 keyboard warriors going on and hitting non-affiliate. I mean, well, y'all go on and approve my video, please. So.
Okay. Well, with that, it's been a really fun night. Jamie, go watch episode 4 of Reacher.
I will.
All right.
I'm on it.
And we'll see what happens on episode 5 for next week. Plus 25.2 next week. And all of that stuff. And we'll see where everybody is on the leaderboard. I'm at like 2,680 in my age group. Woohoo! With that, we will see everybody next time. Like and subscribe. With that, we'll see everybody next time on Sunday night CrossFit Talk. Bye.